Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi and I'm taking care of business. Joining me today is Patrick Poulin, who is Group President for Randstad Canada. Thanks, Patrick, for joining us today.
Hello, Mario. Thanks for having me again.
Well, let's talk about an interesting report you folks put out today, looking at some of the trends we're going to see in 2022 in the labor market in Canada. The first thing I want to ask you about is the highest paying jobs in 2022. What are some of the top paying jobs that you guys are forecasting?
Yeah, when we look at, again, it comes like with the more demand that we have, and the biggest scarcity at some point that we have in jobs. The first jobs that we were thinking about, the IT sector remains a very, very challenging sector for the employers to find great people. So that's the reason why, for those reasons, like we see like a lot of higher paid salary being offered in in this sector. So specifically, when I think about the software developers, the software engineers, we know that the cloud architects as well. When we look at the IT operation manager as well, the help desk. So those positions, I would say, Mario, that they could be between let's say 80,000 up to 150 plus. So why is that? As we know, we've seen a big shift happening on the digital space. We see on the online business that became more and more important. And we see that also the remote work with the whole pandemic, we don't have any choice right now to set up the employees properly to make sure that they can perform and do their job remotely. So that meant that the companies needed to have experts in place to build up the structure, the proper structure to support that. This is the first part, I would say. Second part is, again, it came out like through the years as well, very important, very high paid as well, the financial sector, like all the finance team, as we know, budgeting, analyzing, and preparing the financial reports and making sure that we have all the good data to take good decisions, good strategic decisions. The whole controller jobs that are very important on the finance side. So surprisingly, those positions are really popular and high paid as well. I would say that the range, I give you the range because it always depends on the experience, but I would say that it could go up like to 80, 100 at the beginning, up to 150 as well. So those are good positions. One thing that I want to mention quickly as well, Mario, is that we've seen since the companies, they have more and more projects in place, and they need we've seen some people that got retired. So that director of operations, plant managers, I would say, that kind of positions like are crucial for companies, like on delivering, like we know that the whole supply chain, the whole production, and like the whole logistic after, those are crucial positions. So it's quite good, quite appealing, I would say, for that kind of position.
Yeah, let's talk. You mentioned the growing trend in remote work out there in society. What are some of the top remote work roles that you see in 2022?
There's no surprise, a little bit like I've been saying, it goes up with the highest paid roles that we had, but everything related to the IT sector, like I said, support and like developers, we know that kind of jobs could be performed remotely without any problem. One thing that we see more that we haven't seen so much before is the customer service side. So everything about customer experience, like the call center, like we used to call them. So those people, instead of having them, the image that we have in the past that everyone is little
Yeah.
cubicle and is answering calls from clients. But here we see that those roles, it's good that the companies have been shifting a little bit, and the setup and the structure that the people have right now, they can definitely perform their role remotely quite easily. One other thing on the financial side as well, the bookkeepers, when we look at the accountants as well, we know that more and more everything is through the cloud, is through the web, like everything is through like Excel or whatever. So
Yeah.
that means that the finance positions could be performed definitely remotely. And one thing that I'm surprised and not surprised, but the shift is quite impressive. The administrative assistant positions,
Ah,
the traditional way that we need when
yeah.
we look at it, like we have like those roles that are really important, that the people have been performing their roles like from the office, but we know that being all remote, those people have been shifting a little bit their role and adapting their role to support better the departments that they're working for, or directly the leaders that they're working for. So
Yeah.
those are like a little bit like
Interesting. Yeah.
overall.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you is looking at skills. What are some of the
Yep.
most in-demand skills for 2022?
Yep. So we know that the companies are being very busy right now. And like the demand is quite high. That's the reason why everything about sales and marketing is sales, marketing, and also customer support is really, really, those skills are really important to have. Like all the
Yeah.
companies, they want to get more. So those are really basic skills that they want to have. One other thing that I would add on is that the whole project management piece, we know that the companies, they have, they want to grow their business. They've been growing. So they've been adding on new projects or new initiatives. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why those project management skills are really important. I would say I would be adding on controlling the expenses as well, because it's good to have projects and it's good to have good initiative, but how do we control even more the expenses that we're having
Yeah.
on the accounting side? And I'll finish by a last one, Mario, on this, is that everything about cleaning, it's quite important, because we know with the whole pandemic happening, it requires even more emphasis on making sure that all the areas are super clean, the equipment as well. We know like all the company, they just want to make sure that the virus is not spreading out too much internally. So that's the reason why they've been putting emphasis on this. And that's pretty much it. Like that covers pretty much the good skills. Yeah.
All right, super. Well, thanks, Patrick, for joining us again today.
Thanks, Mario.
All right, super. That was Patrick Poulin, who is Group President for Randstad Canada. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and this has been Taking Care of Business. Thanks for joining us today.